We have now seen two ways to structure a problem: the hypothesis pyramid and the issue tree. Both approaches enable us to break down a big, complex problem into smaller components, then smaller ones again. But how do we start? How, in particular, do we find ways to break down questions into smaller questions in a way that is MICI, mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive? This is where frameworks come into play. The problem you are facing may be unique, but its component parts are often standard textbook problems. Frameworks are standard textbook breakdowns of problems you are likely to encounter frequently. For instance, there are frameworks that list the components of financial value creation. There are frameworks to think about your marketing mix, and so on. Knowing and using many frameworks saves you the effort of having to decompose every question from first principles. Frameworks serve as checklists that ensure you have not forgotten elements in decomposing a question. Think of them as the building blocks of issue trees. Skilled problem solvers can assemble them into issue trees like a child using Lego bricks. The first type of framework is specific to a given industry. For instance, value is value in any industry, but the way to think about value creation in a retail business is very different from the way to think about value creation in a company that makes aircraft. Each industry has its own way of breaking down its sales and profits and so on. Sometimes you hear that someone thinks like a banker or has the reflexes of a consumer product person. That's probably because that manager, intentionally or not, is using frameworks from their industry to address the business problems they are facing. The second type of framework is functional. For instance, there are marketing frameworks, there are finance frameworks, there are strategy frameworks, and so on. Each framework is a way to think about a particular question. For instance, Porter's well-known 5 forces are a framework to answer one question, and only one: how attractive is this industry? The 4 or the 5 P's of marketing are a framework to answer the question: what levers can we change in our marketing mix? What do you do when you are dealing with a question and you cannot think of an industry framework nor of a functional one? You are left with the most universal way to break down a problem, the logical decomposition. As the name implies, logical decompositions break down a problem in a way that is logically MICI, but generic. For instance, you can break down any problem into existing solutions and other solutions we have not thought of yet. This is a MICI breakdown. As this example shows, logical decompositions usually do not provide great insight, but at least they help you fill the holes and push your issue tree one step further when no framework is available. Frameworks are indispensable, but they have limits. Some mediocre problem solvers know only a handful of frameworks and try to apply them indiscriminately to all situations. That's the danger Mark Twain warned against: to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Charlie Munger, the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, formulates the same advice in a more positive way. He urges business people to have models in their heads, multiple models, because all the wisdom of the world is not to be found in one academic department. Indeed, great problem solvers know a lot of industry frameworks and a lot of functional frameworks. They're able to switch between them and to look at the same question through the multiple lenses of different frameworks. This gives them the ability to look at problems in different, creative ways. Now we know how to structure a problem. In the next 3 videos, we will learn how to solve it, the third S in the 4S approach. Stay tuned.